Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monday's Market Outlook here at Top Gun Options on this Veterans Day. And appreciate your flexibility today. We didn't have a weekly options or solo Amazon live trade brief. I had a couple of Veterans Day events. Last night, I saw the movie Midway. Folks, if you did not see this movie, you're doing yourself an incredible disservice to yourself and to our country, to be honest with you. I ran home last night and ran out into the garage and dug out an old Tailhook magazine. And I did that because when you go and see the movie, there I am. It was a Tailhook, 1999. I was awarded, I got this award for recruiting the most new members. But the reason I bring this up is because when I sat down at the awardee table for lunch, I was sitting next to this little old man, little frail old man, 90-something years old, and shook his hand, firm grip, and I said, "Hey, sir, what did you fly, and what did you do?" And with a twinkle in his eye, he told me about how he launched off the Enterprise at the Battle of Midway as a young naval aviator and put a bomb straight through the Akagi flight deck into the hangar bay, knocked her out of commission, came back to see a flaming Yorktown, landed on board Enterprise. They put another bomb on him. He went back, found the Japanese fleet again, and saw the Hiryu, and he said, "Whiz, that big old rising sun on the bow, that big red dot on the bow of that aircraft carrier, I put it into about an 80-degree dive, and I put a bomb right through the middle of that rising sun." His name was Dick Best, Richard Best, awarded the Navy Cross for his actions at the Battle of Midway, the only aviator to have been credited with attacking two aircraft carriers in a single day. And that little old man is on the screen right there as a young lieutenant. Please go see the movie Midway, and you'll see who I'm talking about. I didn't know the movie was going to focus on a man who I had lunch with, and I had no idea I was sitting next to a national hero. So like I said, I ran home to find that Tailhook magazine last night. I'm like, oh my God, what year was that I had lunch with that guy? And I found my old class picture, my graduation picture from Top Gun, and I'm standing next to a good buddy of mine. He's a Top Gun Options member. You guys hear me talk about Shrek often. That's him right there. I got better looking with age, and he got more senior in rank. Now, one of the greatest Americans I've ever met, going to be the commanding officer of VMX-1, one of the most prestigious assignments as a Marine Corps, as a naval aviator, and I'm proud to call him one of my best friends. And then today, went and had lunch with two of my current squadron mates, my daughter Keely and my son Jack, who's in the Naval Junior ROTC program at Boca High, and looking forward to hopefully attending the Naval Academy. And today, missing my son, oldest son Matthew, who's up at Norwich University in Vermont, hoping to be commissioned as an officer of Marines and also to fly and serve his country. So thank you for all the wishes today. If you want to see any of these posts, well, one of the reasons I served was to protect and defend our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we have a lot of domestic enemies right now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Democrats who want to overturn the results of an election, to dirty Department of Justice and FBI officials who have committed treason, trying for a bloodless coup, to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these social media platforms. I would be showing you my Facebook page, but I'm in jail for 30 days. Why? Because I posted a picture of the whistleblower who worked for Joe Biden, is a Democratic operative, and was sent by John Brennan, the CIA director, who's also a flaming liberal, to essentially set up the president. So I got thrown in Facebook jail for 30 days, ladies and gentlemen, for unmasking a traitor. 15 years of service to this country, 44 missions over southern Iraq, 2 air medals, graduated from the Navy Top Gun School adversary program, yeah. They put me in Facebook jail. Speaking of Facebook jail and freedom of speech, hopefully you didn't watch this clip. This officer pulls out a revolver in Hong Kong and shoots this guy right in the chest at point blank range. I watched this last night, laying in bed. Sunday night, got to lay in bed and seeing what's going on with the futures or what's going on in Asia, and Asian markets were imploding. This is bad. Last week, one of their protest leaders fell, I believe it was. Well, We'll see. Fell from a parking garage and died as a result of his injuries. This guy, I guess, is in critical condition, getting shot right in the chest. And then there's also footage of a government protester getting gas or some accelerant thrown on him and being lit on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have briefed you for months, 20 months, essentially, since this trade war started, I've warned you, ladies and gentlemen, that this has absolutely nothing to do with the trade war. I've used their own words. Last January, or this previous January, I briefed you on what a Chinese admiral had to say. He kind of laughed at the idea of a trade war. He's like, what are you talking about? We could care less about a trade war. We're worried about a real war with the United States. We're worried about our strategic dominance in the region, retaking our renegade province that you guys call Taiwan, and we could care less about trade. This is the deal, folks. So the president is not going to be able to, even if he signs a trade deal, folks. Let's go through some of these scenarios. The president signs a trade deal, and then before the ink's dry, President Xi kind of winks at one of his advisors, and the dude picks up the phone and says, "Crush Hong Kong," or "The invasion of Taiwan is on." What do? Right? Do we stick up for pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong? Do we stick up for a renegade province that China calls it, or that we believe is a free country that we sell arms to? So, folks, you can be a gold retriever and chase after this trade deal like a shiny red ball. At Top Gun Options, I will keep an eye on the background, on the strategic issues that is what is really going on here. So some uncertainty over the weekend about phase one, where the hell we're going to have it, what we agreed to. We had a great day of trading last week when the market pop, was it last Thursday? We sold on this pop of China saying, hey, Merck agreed to everything in the phase one. This is fantastic. And I said, you haven't heard from two people, folks, Navarro and Trump. And we sold last Thursday one-day trades that printed money on Friday because I knew Navarro and Trump were going to come out and go, what are you talking about? So China says all the tariffs were going to go. U.S. doubts remain. You know what happened about 2 hours after this headline? Navarro and Trump were quoted as more or less saying, what are you guys talking about? The president walking out to Marine One said what? I'm cool with tariffs. I'm happy where we are. I'm good. I'm bringing billions of dollars in every month into the Treasury, and I'm happy doing that. I sent out a couple, I shouldn't have been doing this, but sitting at some ceremonies and stuff like that, I care about my members here. So I sent out a couple text and email alerts, some bullish spreads on Amazon and S&P for the week, but also a hedge on VIX. And I also sent that out to the solo Amazon members. Folks, we are at a cliff here. This is kind of a plateau. We haven't seen a rip your face off rally like we've seen through, most of October into November. We're hypoxic up here. You have got to get long volatility. They shot a protester, folks. Do you think Carrie Lam came out today and said, hey, if you think that you upping your, protester style tactics are going to make us, scared, you're wrong. She didn't condemn the dude getting shot. She just came out hardball, folks. We haven't even talked about Iran, Saudi Arabia, what's going on in the Middle East. There is a huge powder keg, and this market just keeps whistling past the graveyard. One of the reasons it's whistling past the graveyard is the Fed, folks. We're essentially we have QE4 going on right now. They're not calling it that, folks, but the Fed, the plunge protection team, the New York Fed is propping up this market. I absolutely guarantee you that is happening. Here's another here's a couple warning signs. Options traders abandon hedges. November rally weighs on low volatility funds. People are flocking out of these low volatility funds, these funds that are supposed to make a nice, consistent return in these big market swings. People are dumping out of it to jump into equities. So options traders abandoning hedges, investors, retail, fleeing these low volatility funds. The Fed saying, hey, we're done cutting interest rates. And let me give you a last canary in the coal mine. Insider sales are at record highs. For every seller, there's a buyer, right? For every buyer, there's a seller. Guess who's selling? I told you that the number one buyer of the S&P 500 for the past couple years has been who? The S&P 500. Companies buying back their shares, right? That's great. CEOs love that. Hey, CFO, yeah, what's up, boss? Buy back a ton of our shares. You know what that does for me? It drives the stock price up and my bonus. guess what insiders are doing, folks? Dumping shares like crazy. When you see corporate insiders jumping off the ship like rats, you want to stay on that boat, folks? Be very, very careful up here at record highs. So I sent out a text alert this morning saying, hey, might be a time to just buy some VIX calls out to the end of this month. While I think the market hangs here, I looked at a S&P 500 bull put spread out to Wednesday, along with an Amazon weekly bull put spread out to Friday. I think we ledge here for a little bit. The president has a big economic speech this week, and he also has the man he loves to hate, the Fed chief, is also speaking this week. So I think we're in a little bit of a holding pattern for now. And then if the all clear kind of sounds, in a couple weeks, folks, we're going to see our fellow countrymen give thanks around a table for their family and friends, and the next day go out and beat somebody over the head with a TV to save $10. So here comes, if we can hang up here, folks. Remember, you have to trade the market you have, not the one you want. Not that I want a down market. I'm just a cautious trader. I'm a cautious investor. I'm a cautious fighter pilot, folks. You think fighter pilots are reckless or anything? Absolutely not, man. Options traders are not. We want to minimize all known risks. And it's my job on a daily basis to brief you on known risks, the risks that are out there, those missiles that we know about that can shoot us down. Sometimes it's the unknown unknowns that really worry us. Before I left the house this morning, drinking my coffee, and the uniform still fits, I'm watching the futures and everything like that. A kid getting, or man, whoever was getting shot in the chest, another potential person getting shot in Hong Kong is massive. There ain't no trade deal with that going on in Hong Kong. I guarantee. The Republicans have said this, folks. Lindsey Graham, who looks like he's going to jump in front of a bullet to save the president, has already said, we will not only not give China a trade deal if they're doing this stuff in Hong Kong, we will impose sanctions on those folks. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, a lot of potential bad up here, but man, our market altimeter, the VIX, is just kind of sitting here staring at us, just winking at us. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, right now, as I'm filming this, 2:45, the market is up, the VIX is up, something is up. It is absolutely insane cheap right now. I haven't seen, no, not even in here. We had a big spike, maybe a week of calmness. I have not seen we're going on 2.5 to 3 weeks of nothingness with volatility. Take a look at this heart rate monitor, folks. The VIX is a heart rate monitor. What are we, dead? No, we're not, folks. So keep one eye out, okay? Because the guys who yell fire in a crowded theater in the market, they're already out of the market. They just sit in the back of the theater to yell fire to watch all the retail traders get stamped. They already took their profits. The insiders are selling. There's a lot of potential bad out there, okay? Or this might be a hold your nose rally. Hey, Wiz, the thing's going up. Let's just hold our nose and bid it higher. You bet I will. I'll dogfight this market, but I got one hand on my ejection seat. Remember, as an options trader, we can dogfight this market and in the blink of an eye go from being, hey, cautiously bullish to we're going to pound this thing into the dirt. And that's my job to teach you how to do that. Speaking of that, Thursday after the close, if you're seeing this Monday Market Outlook, I'm going to send out an email, I don't know, tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to do a brief after the close on Thursday, because this is one of those weeks with the president speaking about the economy, the Hong Kong stuff, the Fed chief also speaking, and kind of a deadness before the maybe Santa Claus rally or a storm. So I'm going to hook you guys up with a free brief after the close on Thursday. So keep an eye on your email inbox, okay? I'm not going to send you to a registration page. I'm going to just send you the damn GoToTraining link. I'm not having anybody else promote this. This is just to folks who are on the Top Gun Options list, okay? All right, folks. Again, thanks for your flexibility today. I did send out 2 text and email alerts on Amazon and the S&P 500, actually 3, and VIX. So even though I meant to take a day with pay, so to speak, like we said in the Navy, I didn't, because you guys are my wingmen now as well. Happy Veterans Day, or thank you for your service to all the Top Gun Options members and their family who served. If you had a family member, mom, dad, cousin, son, whoever, you also serve too, because sometimes you bear just as many scars as we do. Okay. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, primary live trade brief. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.